Hello viewers, welcome to the editorial analysis by Drishti IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. Dear viewers, in this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus. Then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our session.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from the Hindustan Times, published on 13th of January 2013. The title of today's editorial is Handling the Avian Flu Crisis. If we try to link today's editorial with our UPSC syllabus, we can link it with GS Paper 3, which has sections that include science and technology, environment, biodiversity, and ecology. Some key points from today's editorial. 2021 has started with an unprecedented bird flu epidemic in India, causing the death of thousands of wild and poultry birds in 10 states and bleeding the fast-growing poultry industry for a second time over the past year. In March-April 2020, the industry was hit by a 68-day lockdown and industry is expected to recover the losses during the winter months. Now, viewers, with reference to the poultry industry, 2021 has given them a bad start. Now, if we speak about the bad start, we are noticing that the bird flu epidemic has actually started and has caused death of thousands and thousands of wild and poultry birds in almost 10 states. Now, this bird flu has actually came up as a double attack on the poultry industry in India, because last year we saw a 68 days lockdown during which the poultry industry suffered a lot. However, it was expected that the industry will recover its business during the winter months, but the news of avian flu or the bird flu has actually caused a lot of turmoil in the industry itself. Prices of poultry products, the fastest growing segments of the agriculture sector, has dipped by 40 to 60% in the past week as bird flu has spread from Pong Dam in Himachal Pradesh and Rajasthan, where the first cases were reported in the last week of December, to Delhi, Madhya Pradesh and Kerala. Now, if I speak about the situation right now of the poultry product, the prices have gone down almost by 40 to 60% because the first case, it was observed near the Pong Dam area of Himachal Pradesh. Later on, it spread to various other parts of the country such as Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, etc. Now viewers, before we go ahead, it is quite important for us to actually see what exactly the bird flu is. Now, first of all, bird flu, also known as the avian influenza, it is a viral infection that can infect not only birds but also human and other animals. However, most forms of the virus are restricted to birds. Now, we have to see what exactly the H5 virus are. See, if we speak about the influenza A H5 virus, there are 9 known subtypes, which are H5N1, H5N2, H5N3, H5N4, and similarly till H5N9. Now, the bird flu or the avian influenza, it is highly contagious viral disease affecting several species of food-producing birds, that is chicken, turkeys, quails, guinea fowl, etc., as well as pet birds and wild birds. Occasionally, mammals, including humans, may contract avian influenza. Influenza A viruses are classified into subtypes based on 2 surface proteins. See, the 2 surface proteins are being the classification parameter. In the first place, we have the hemagglutinin, which is also referred as HA, hemagglutinin. Whereas the second one is neuraminidase. Okay, the second one is neuraminidase, which is referred as NA. The spelling is quite important to see here. Neura, Neuraminidase, neuraminidase. So see, you have two subtypes here, two categories here. Number one is HA, which we will be referring as hemagglutinin, and the other one is neuraminidase, which will refer as NA. Now, if we speak about the influenza A, which is the H5N8 subtype of the virus, this is exactly the one which is causing all the trouble. So, according to the Paris-based World Organization for Animal Health, H5N8 avian influenza is a disease of birds caused by type A influenza virus, which can affect several species of domestic poultry such as chicken, turkey, ducks, pet birds, wild migratory birds, etc. Now, can the virus transfer to human? This is the biggest question. Now, as of now, there are no known cases that H5N8 virus has spread into human beings. Now, risk to general public is very low. There is also no evidence that consumption of poultry meat or eggs could transmit the virus to humans, but necessary precautions are required while handling sick or dead birds and contaminated material during control and containment operations. It is considered safe to eat properly cooked poultry products. Now, if we speak about some of the important control measures which are to be taken, culling. Okay, culling. Now, if we speak about culling, so we have already heard this term of culling. Culling can be said as a man-made method of selection. Like we always speak about the term natural selection. So when we speak about culling, culling actually refers to man-made selection. So one of the most important control measure is culling, which is usually undertaken to control the infection when it is detected in animals. Besides culling, safe disposal of all such culled animals and animal products is also important. The authorities also need to strictly enforce decontamination of infected premises and undertake quarantine of contaminated vehicles and personals. Now, let's move ahead. The present scenario. Migratory birds. Now, if we speak about migratory birds during this season, during this winter season, so many birds come from Siberian region, Mongolian region, and they travel to India. One of such examples is the Siberian crane. So migratory birds from faraway countries in the northern hemisphere such as Mongolia, Kazakhstan are said to have brought the virus to India in the 24th such instance since 2004. Now, since 2004, it is for the 24th time that we have seen the situation of avian influenza, also known as the bird flu. And it is expected that the carriers this time are the migratory birds. More than half of the world's bird flu incidence takes place in the Central Asian flyway that covers almost the entire Indian subcontinent, according to WHO. Closer to 90% of birds migrating through the flyway visit India wintering sites, and some of them may be the carriers of avian diseases. Like I said, that almost 90% birds are there who follow the pathway of Central Asian flyway. And it has been said that they have visited India during winters, and some of these migratory birds might have been the carrier of avian influenza. The bird flu spreads through their droppings, contaminating the water bodies they visit. The death of crows in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Uttarakhand, and ducks in Kerala show that the virus spread from the cross-border migratory birds to the domestic ones and eventually to the poultry. Now, why exactly we are saying that the disease has spread? Because we have seen the death of several crows in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and similar symptoms of death were shown in the ducks of Kerala. So with this, the scientists in India, they have come on to a conclusion that definitely it's the migratory birds who have actually acted as a carrier and have transmitted the disease here to the domestic ones. The Bhopal-based National Institute for High Security Animal Diseases confirmed that, as it found same strain avian influenza in migratory and domestic bird. However, a confirmation has also come with reference to the H5N8. I have given you the entire description about the H5N8 subtype. Okay, and it has been confirmed by NIHSAD, the Bhopal-based institution, that the strains are of avian influenza, which they have found in the domestic birds, are same as what they have seen in the migratory birds as well. The way ahead. Experts say preventing bird flu is not possible as little research has been done on virus carrying capability of migratory birds in CAF. However, the spread can be contained if there is early sharing of information between the 29 CAF countries. See, experts are saying as of now, till today, the preventing bird flu is not possible because there has been a very less research done with respect to this particular subject. However, there is hope that the spread can be contained if the information sharing between the 29 CAF country, the path which is followed by these migratory birds, if there is a proper information sharing between these countries, then definitely the disease can be contained. For instance, the first bird flu death in the flyway was reported from the breeding sites in China in October-November, indicating that the disease was coming to India. Conservation and protection of migratory birds and their sites are covered under the Convention for Conservation of Migratory Species of Animals, but their health aspects are not. See, we speak about the conservation and protection of the migratory birds, and there is a convention as well which actually helps them to protect. But the biggest aspect is their health aspects are not covered in this particular convention. So whatever measures are required, they are supposed to be taken by the various governments. The United Nations and the WHO should work with countries in the CAF region for disease surveillance of the migratory birds, and India should do more sample checks at the wintering site to catch the disease early. Now at this point of time, it is United Nations and WHO who have to work together with the CAF countries, and also with respect to India, it has to do more sample checks, particularly at the wintering site, particularly at those places where these migratory birds visit, so that they can catch the disease as soon as possible. And that's the only way through which you can control the avian influenza. Otherwise, as of now, there is no news that H8N5 virus can cause any effect or it can go for any particular trouble to humans. But we never know. Like we are seeing in the case of corona, the new strain that has developed is even more injurious as compared to the initial strain of corona which we have seen last year during the month of March, April 2020. So it is high time that India has to go for more sample checks in order to control and contain this particular disease. So viewers, this was with today's editorial analysis. A question that can be framed with reference to today's editorial is write a note on bird flu. Discuss how it can be prevented. So viewers, I hope you liked today's editorial analysis. Thank you very much.